Hello and welcome to Verbling. For the next hour or so, we are going to talk about adverbs. We actually had a number of classes this week looking at adverbs, so kind of wrapping it up with this class, kind of an all-inclusive general look at using adverbs, what they do, what they are, and how they're used, and where they go in a sentence. I'll present you with information, and students will try to make sentences with example adverbs. Okay, so welcome to the class, Constantine. Hello. How are you?
Hi, fine. And you?
Okay. Not sure. I think okay. Okay, and hello, Heidi. Welcome to the class.
Nice to see you.
Likewise. Okay, let's take a look at adverbs. I'm going to present some material, talk to you about it, and we're going to practice making sentences with adverbs in them to see if we get it. Okay, first of all, let's start off with a straightforward definition. What is an adverb? It is a part of speech, or word class, or word form sometimes. Other words include nouns, adjectives, verbs, prepositions, and so forth. Adverbs are primarily used to modify a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. They can also be used tricky ways to modify a prepositional phrase, which is maybe an adjective clause, a subordinate clause, complete sentences. The adjective form of adverb is adverbial. For example, in the phrasal verb take off, take is obviously a verb. The off here, although off by itself would be a preposition. In this case, in conjunction with take as a phrasal verb, this thing is now off, is now called an adverbial particle. Particle means part or piece. All right, if you think about it, it makes perfect sense because it is acting to modify take. It's changing the meaning, and it's a part or particle, a part. So off here is called an adverbial particle. All right. Okay, before we get into actually practicing adverbs, let me quickly welcome Carolina. Hello again.
Hello, teacher again.
Hello again. And Ali again. Hello again, Ali.
Hello again.
All right. Okay, I've been talking a lot anyway this week about positioning adverbs in sentences, kind of wrapping it up with this class. An adverb that modifies an adjective, for example, quite sad, or another adverb, as in, for example, very carelessly. Very is an adverb, carelessly is an adverb. Appears one place only, and it can only appear in one place, and that is immediately in front of the word that it modifies. Actually, before we even go on any further, let's try this. Let's see if stop right there. We'll come back to verbs in a second. It's a lot more complicated with verbs. It's very basic with adjectives and adverbs. So let's try this. Actually, I'd like you guys to practice forming some sentences. All right, Constantine, can you form a sentence? Doesn't have to be complicated. Oops.
I don't understand the question.
Okay. Well, before we do anything, I'm getting very heavy.
Echo.
All right. I think.
Echo.
Yeah. That. Constantine, you have the verbaling window. You have to close it. If you're playing the live broadcast, as I'm saying it, it's going to have a slight delay, and then echo. So before we do anything, you have to fix that. Or you don't have a headphone, so your microphone is picking up your speaker. One of those two things. Wrong. Okay. Oops. Okay. Well, I didn't mean you had to leave. I just meant you had to fix it. Okay. Try this again. All right. The first couple of functions of an adverb is to modify an adjective, like quite sad, or an adverb. So I would like to try that first because it's fairly straightforward when you're talking about position. It will go immediately in front of the word it modifies. Let's try adjectives first. I would like to try, have you guys try, rather. Forming a sentence can be quite simple. Oh, there. It can be quite simple. Ha! Quite. Adverb. Simple. Adjective. There we go. There's a good example. You can make a very simple sentence to show me adverb and adjective. Let's try that first. Okay. Hello, Mark. Briefly. Hi, Mark.
Hi there. Again.
Hi again. Okay. Constantine, I'm going to come back to you because you didn't quite understand what I was asking you to do. So you can look at examples from the other students. So I'll come back to you. I'll give you a chance in a minute. Heidi, can you start off a sentence?
Adjective modified adverb modified adjective.
Yeah, I would like to hear a sentence with an adverb adjective combination first.
Okay. I'm really uncomfortable with listening the echo.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't even know how to speak when that happens. Okay, and here it is. So your adverb adjective combination, Heidi, is?
Really the adverb uncomfortable the adjective.
Yes, it certainly is. Very good. Okay. All right. Very good. And because we're talking about this, just because you used really, I need to stop for a second and just point out something. Very often used adjectives are the adjectives really. It's very common in spoken English, and very. One thing that I hear all the time, language learners, a mistake they make is using them with really and very with verbs. I really run fast. Okay, really it should be I run really fast. Okay. Okay, I really try. I really try. Okay, that it's fine. Now it's sometimes it's okay to use really with a verb. I know I'm skipping ahead. I said I wouldn't do this, but because I don't want to forget this very important and basic point. The mistake I constantly here is this one. I very try. Okay, I know you're trying to use an adverb with a verb, which is a normal function. But this sentence doesn't mean anything. This is no good. Okay. You can't use very, just to put it bluntly, please don't use very with a verb. If you want to say, I try very hard, I have no problem with that. This is an adverb adjective combination, and this is perfectly okay. Okay? Perfectly okay to use really or very with an adjective. Perfectly okay to use really or very with another adverb. However, when it comes to verbs, it's okay to use really. It's not okay to use very directly in front of a verb. It sounds really strange. It just doesn't work. Okay, just had to make that point before we continue, because it's really probably the most common mistake that I hear regarding adverbs. Okay, let's continue here. Carolina, adjective adverb combination.
It was quite beautiful day. It was a quite beautiful day. No.
Okay, you're worried about the article, and you do need an article because day are countable,
Yeah.
3 days. So where does the article go?
It was a quite.
It was a quite beautiful day. Yeah, okay. It was a quite beautiful day. Okay. Okay. Now this is an interesting little problem. Not problem, but this is interesting because now we concerning ourselves with using an adjective, a noun, and an adverb, a modifying adverb. And where does that go? With in conjunction with other determiners, like an article. Okay. It was a quite beautiful day. There's nothing wrong with this sentence. This is going to work. A disgustingly ugly dog, for example. All right. Okay. All right. So your determiner is going to go first. That could be an article, a, an, or the. Could be my disgustingly ugly dog. Could be 3 disgustingly ugly dogs. All right. So the determiner will go first. That is correct. Okay. So that raises an interesting point because it is possible sometimes to move the adverb around. This is a very special situation. It is possible here, Carolina, to say it was quite a beautiful day. This is a point of confusion right here. Okay. Now, what's the difference between these two? Really, as far as meaning and content, nothing. They really basically say the same thing. What is happening here? Okay, we're normally, okay, my dog's here. Normally, this is correct. You need to have the article first. So why can I write this second sentence like this? Carolina, do you know?
No, teacher. I am thinking, but I don't know.
Okay, this is a very, very confusing thing. Let me try to explain it very simply.
Okay.
Okay. Normal structure is as I showed you with my disgusting dog. All right, the determiner and then the adverb acting on the adjective. If the adverb's acting on the adjective, it's going to be right in front of it. Fine, that seems quite simple. Why is this second sentence also valid? Because actually, this adverb is now acting on the verb. If you remember, when we looked at using an adverb with a verb, when we use just the verb to be, the adverb placement is right behind the verb to be, when the verb to be is by itself as the main verb. Actually, you're using quite to modify the verb. This is a very confusing thing in English because you see these two sentences and there's no difference in meaning, right? They basically mean the same thing. So why does the placement, does this affect placement? It's because you're actually using the adverb in a different way in these two sentences, even though it doesn't change the meaning. Very often it will change the meaning. Obviously, if you're using much more descriptive adjectives like disgustingly, really, okay, see, okay, right, right, let me just demonstrate. It was, I know this doesn't make sense, but stick with me here. It was a disgustingly beautiful day. Okay, maybe to be sarcastic. Whoops, I forgot. Suddenly, between 2 minutes ago and now, I forgot how to write disgustingly. Right, now, let's copy it and move the disgustingly. Can we do that? Can we cut it out and can we say it was disgustingly a beautiful day?
Yeah, sounds good. That's a good one.
Okay, you can, and I think you might get a sense here more. It was disgustingly that the adverb is really working on the verb. It was tragically beautiful, a beautiful day. Okay. The idea is it's really going with the verb here, as opposed to going with the adjective. All right. This can be very confusing. It's all about the placement, what you really are trying to modify. Okay. So that was interesting. Thank you, Carolina, for that example. A very necessary, important point. Thanks a lot. Okay, Mark. All right, you don't have to get so crazy. Just simply an adverb-adjective combination.
Okay. Okay. Adverbs can be an awfully complicated grammar point.
Well, oh, that's your sentence?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right. That's a good one. Okay, perfect. All right, gotcha. How come it's telling me awfully spell? Oh, that's why. I always make that mistake. This is a spelling mistake I make all the time because I think of the two words awe and fully. Okay, there we go. All right, very good. And here it is. Awfully complicated grammar point. Notice his determiner here in front of the adjective, the adverb adjective combination. Very good. That's perfect. Okay, Constantine, you got the idea. Can you give me a sentence?
It was really extremely weak dog. Weak dog.
Okay.
No. Okay.
Okay. No. This is interesting. I like this. And thank you very much for fixing the echo. I really appreciate that. Okay, now this is interesting. All right, what has Constantine done? Oh my, what has he done?
It was
No,
really.
oh, what's that?
It was really.
Yeah, right. Okay, great. Thank you. All right, we got that. What has he done? He has actually done two things. He's used an adverb to modify an adverb, which is in turn modifying an adjective. All right, so he has two adverb, adverb, adjective. No problem. You can do this. This really is modifying extremely. Extremely is modifying big. Big as an adjective is modifying dog. Choo-choo goes the train. Okay. Thank you. That's an excellent example. Okay, which brings me to what I wanted to try next. You've already done it. Adverbs modifying an adverb. Adverb to adverb. Okay. Constantine has already done it. Okay, great. Heidi, can you create a sentence with an adverb modifying an adverb? Basically, you can.
He walked in the room
Whoops.
very quietly.
Okay, excellent. Okay, and see, this is interesting. Another interesting example. Your adverbs modifying an adverb is, of course, very. Heidi, what is quietly modifying?
Walk.
That's right, the verb. Okay, he walked in the room very quietly. In this case, she's putting this verb modifying adverb at the end of the sentence. Where else could you put it? Can you move this combination of adverbs?
He walked very quiet. He quietly walked. He very quietly walked in the room.
Yes, indeed. Very good. Exactly. You can also put them directly in front of the verb. Doesn't really change the meaning. Okay. The one thing you cannot do, you cannot separate these. If you're having an adverb which is modifying another adverb, don't put them in different places in the sentence. Again, main point number one. An adverb modifying an adjective goes right in front of the adjective, always. An adverb modifying another adverb goes right in front of the other adverb, always. It's when they modify verbs that things get kind of weird. Okay. Carolina, adverb, adverb.
My cat is frequently softly.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Here's another common mistake. Carolina, you're so helpful today.
Why, teacher? Because I am sleepy.
I don't know, but you're pointing out exactly the most confusing elements, exactly the problems. Aha. Okay. Adverb, adverb. All right. Now look, this sentence, Carolina, is wrong. Okay, it's wrong because we can have an adverb that modifies another adverb. Look at Heidi's example. First adverb, very, is modifying an adverb which is modifying a verb. All right. Back to Constantine's example. Really is modifying an adverb which is modifying an adjective. Aha. So the choo-choo train of who's modifying who cannot end with adverb adverb. The second adverb has to modify something else. Okay? It has to. It can't just be there by itself. This is another very common mistake. Okay. So, is frequently, softly, what?
Oh my god. My cat looks frequently softly like a rabbit. No.
Rabbit. Okay.
No sé, teacher, I don't know.
Here. Let me help you out.
Yes, please.
How about this? My cat is frequently softly purring.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
In this case, my cat is frequently hardly purring.
Loudly purring? Okay. Okay. Anyway, here we've got our adverbs. After the is purring, present continuous tense, we need an auxiliary or helper verb. Here the verb to be. Notice placement of the adverbs after that first auxiliary. Notice we keep them together in the normal adverb placement when they go with verbs after that auxiliary. So you can have two adverbs, okay, or one adverb's really working on really frequently is modifying softly, softly is modifying purring. But this is the correct word order. So, okay, very good. You cannot ever just leave an adverb hanging, not modifying anything.
Okay.
Okay, it's like an
That was
incomplete.
my mistake.
Yeah, it's not just you, Caroline. I see this mistake very frequently. I should have called this class frequent adverb mistakes, actually. That's what it's turning out to be. Okay. I need to really examine this recording so I can actually teach this class in a more organized way. Okay, Mark, can you give me an example adverb adverb?
Okay. She used to say that she was almost always right.
Okay. Oh, you're getting very tricky here. Whoops. Inverted here. Typo. Okay. There we go. She used to say that she was almost always right. Very nice. Okay. Almost. The first. Okay. She was. This is tricky to analyze. Really tricky. Almost is clearly modifying always. That's not the tricky part. What is always modifying? She was always, or she was, or always right?
Always modify right.
This is really tricky. Going back to talking about, is the adverb modifying the adjective or the verb? Oh my God! In some cases, guys, I can't tell. Neither can you. Neither can the biggest grammar genius on the planet. I don't know if we mean was always, or I don't know if we mean always right, and it doesn't matter. It could actually be modifying the verb, or right, correct, the adjective. Right meaning correct. Okay? It's in the proper placement for either. It doesn't matter. In this case, it doesn't matter. It doesn't change the meaning either way you interpret it. And frankly, I can't tell. Maybe Mark can tell because he made the sentence. But,
Okay. No,
but,
I mean it. It's a person
but
that I know, and she used to say that she was almost always right.
yeah, looking at it from an analytical point of view, adverb placement, nobody on earth could tell you what always is modifying, the verb or the adjective. The only person on earth that could tell you the answer to that would be Mark, because he could
Yeah.
tell you what he intended. That's absolutely true in this case. You are literally the only person on earth that knows the grammar structure of this sentence.
Yeah,
Crazy.
I mean it. That girl, she used to say she was almost always right. I said, okay, you were wrong. No, I'm not. But okay, but you was yesterday. No, I was almost always right. Okay,
Yeah.
was
Uh,
enough for me.
have you ever heard of this statement? Um, uh, okay. I thought I was wrong once, uh, but I was mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Classic.
Yeah,
Classic
classic.
inversion of logic here. Okay. A sentence that makes perfect sense that doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah.
A paradox. That's called a paradox.
I think
Okay.
both are related.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. So there we go. Adverbs with adjectives and with other adverbs. Now, the fun part. That was the easy part, by the way. Okay. Now we're going to look at this information. An adverb that modifies a verb is generally more flexible. And by the way, please note the use of the adverb generally. Okay. Generally more flexible. Sometimes the adverb placement is completely inflexible and it can only go in one position. Sometimes it is hugely flexible and it may go in 3 or 4 different positions in the sentence. Okay. Uh, Usually it's more flexible. It may appear before or after the verb. It modifies. Softly sang or sang softly. Okay, if you remember from previous classes today and this week, I suggest if you have one main verb, you put it in front of that main verb. That can never be wrong. Or if you have the verb to be, then it goes after that verb. Uh, okay. Or frequently they can go at the beginning of a sentence. Softly she sang to the baby. All right. She softly sang to the baby. She sang softly to the baby. All of those are possible positions. However, you've got to be a little careful because that positioning can change the meaning of a sentence. Okay. All right. All right. We'll try with verbs in a minute because we're gonna look at some. We'll go back to trying adverbs with verbs in a second. A couple other things before we go there. Functions of an adverb. Adverbs typically do several different things, actually. They can add time information. They do that a lot. Rarely, frequently, tomorrow. All right. Okay. It can talk about manner. Slowly, quickly, willingly. How you do something. These are going to obviously, manner is going to obviously act on verbs. The way in which you do something, do being an action, being a verb. Obviously, manner is going to usually modify a verb. Or place, here, there, everywhere, anywhere, and more. Those are just some functions. Also, when we talk about functions of adverbs, be aware that some adverbs have different functions. Some words that are adverbs can also be a subordinating conjunction. Last class we looked at yet. It has a couple of different functions. So it may be used in it as an adverb, or it could be being used as a conjunction. The word yet is a good example of that. There are others. There are adverbs that are also prepositions. So you have to be aware that, and these are case by case. I can't give you any formula. There are some words which have different functions. Okay. Forms of an adverb. Okay. Many adverbs, especially adverbs of manner, again, adverbs of manner normally work on the verb or modify verbs, are usually formed by, or they're spelled from the adjective form, and the very common adverb ending ly is added, such as easy, easily, dependable, dependably. More common adverbs, especially adverbs that have to do with time, okay, have no ly ending. Things like just, still, almost. Not is an adverb. These are also ly, but commonly the ly ones you use that describe verbs, or modify verbs rather, usually end with ly. Usually, not always. And also, please note, this is another common misconception by language learners: not all words that end in ly are adverbs. Absolutely not. For example, the words friendly or neighborly, these are adjectives. The friendly man, the neighborly couple. Okay, it's an adjective modifying a noun. It is not an adverb. Okay, so there are quite a few, actually, adjectives that end with ly. So try to think about their function. Are they modifying a noun? Then they're an adjective. Okay, I'm going to go back. Now that we got some examples, you can think about the different types. Some examples of adverbs: rarely, frequently, slowly, quickly, willingly. Adverbs of place, maybe easily, dependably. You can just, still. They can show frequency, about time, how often, how much. Okay. Now that we've seen some different kinds of adverbs, and also what usually goes with verbs, let's try making sentences where the adverb modifies the verb expressly. Okay, so here we go. Whoops. We were going to try adverb-verb combinations. Let's give it a try, see if we can form some sentences. And we'll talk about them as we go along. Constantine, back to you. Keep it simple. I'm lazy. I don't like to write a lot. I don't like to write a 45-word sentence.
45 sentence.
No, I'm saying no. No, I'm way too lazy to write a 45-word sentence. That's what I'm saying. Okay.
Should I
I'm looking
do
for
a sentence with adverb and verb?
That's right, where the adverb is working on the verb.
He's still going
Okay.
to be here.
Okay.
Tomorrow.
Okay. You just can't stop with the adverbs, can you? All right. Where are you? Okay, Constantine, you're testing me. I'm going to test you. Okay. Where are your adverbs here? Which words are the adverbs?
Still.
Yep. Very good.
And tomorrow is a weather adverbs.
Yes, it is.
And here.
Okay. Okay. Here tomorrow. Okay. Is here an adverb?
Okay.
Not a noun. A here. Here. Okay. It's not a preposition. Here the morning. No. Okay. Yes, it is. So what are these crazy adverbs? What are they doing? Okay. What is still is the easy one. What is still modifying?
Going.
Well, okay. Actually, how many
B.
verbs do you have
B.
here?
B.
Okay, you've got is going to be, right? You've actually only got one verb here. This is a simple future, Constantine. Simple future tense. You've actually only got one verb. So actually everything is acting on that verb. You very simple. It's actually a very simple sentence with a lot of adverbs. You have one subject noun, very simple, he, and then one verb is going to be, and you just added a lot of adverbs in there. All right? All of which have something to do with time or place. Okay. Interesting. Now, all right. Could you rearrange this sentence in another way? Is it possible? Oh,
He's still be here.
Ah, that's one for extremely advanced students. I'm trying to work it out myself. I don't think you can, not without changing the meaning at the very least. He's going to be here tomorrow still. That would imply that he has never left. Okay? He is still going to be here tomorrow means he hasn't arrived yet. And I'm counting on that he will be here tomorrow. If I move that still around, okay, even though there's really only one verb here, this is the important point. Even though there's only one verb, if I move still around, if I say he is going to be here tomorrow still, that means he was here and he's not moving. It's completely different in meaning. This is okay. So this sentence helps me to illustrate the idea if you move adverbs around, it can totally change the meaning. All right, can you move tomorrow? Tomorrow he is still going to be here. No, that also means that he never left, as opposed to that he's coming tomorrow. Okay? If we try to move these adverbs around, we're going to end up changing the meaning of the sentence, what you're trying to say. All right, that's an interesting example. Okay, very good. The adverbs are working with the verb. That's what I requested. But interesting example of how sometimes if we move an adverb around, it's going to completely change meaning. All right, Heidi, can you give me an adverb-verb combination in a sentence?
He will be back shortly.
Okay. Nice and brief.
Terminator.
What? What?
Terminator.
Terminator. He will be back. Or MacArthur. I don't know. Whatever. Okay. He will be back shortly. A very simple sentence. Very simple subject noun. Will be back. Okay. What's your verb?
Be.
Yeah, and actually will be.
Will be.
Yeah, sure. All right. Okay, that's simple future tense again. What's your adverb?
Children.
Shortly. Okay. What's back?
Back is I don't know. Be back.
Okay. That's interesting. What is back in this sentence? Can anybody tell me?
Preposition.
No, it's a verb.
Yeah, I think so. I think it is the verb. Okay. Well, is it a verb? In which case this would be he will be back. Be back.
Verb.
Like be back is the verb. Yes, is back. That's an interesting phrasal verb, but yes. Okay. That's interesting. Yes, it is. Took me a little minute to wrap my head around that. Yeah, okay, there's not many phrasal verbs that have the verb to be, but here's one of them. This is a bit of an oddity, a strange thing, but yes, normally, Constantine, you would be right. It's a preposition, but a preposition can't function by itself. It's got to do something else. So it couldn't be a preposition. So we can eliminate that idea. So in conjunction with the verb, it's an, again, adverbial particle. So it must be part of the verb. So there you go. All right, you have the whole verb, and you've put the adverb at the end of the sentence. Can you move it around with the verb? Wow.
Can I move?
Yeah, can you move shortly?
After will, he will shortly.
You will shortly be back. Yes, you can. Now, this is interesting. It's always an interesting sentence when you throw in an adverb. It's just always more complicated. I'm realizing that now as I'm trying to teach you guys.
What about shortly he will be back?
What about shortly he will be back? That's also possible. Okay, we can move this without really changing the meaning. We can move this adverb around. Now I have to express another thing to you guys, which I don't want to because I don't want to confuse you. It is always grammatically correct to put the adverb acting on the verb, if it's acting on the verb, and that's important, after the first auxiliary. Heidi's second example, he will shortly be back. We know this will always be correct. That's basically the never fail grammar rule that you can use. However, I have to say that Heidi's the first way she expressed this sentence, he will be back shortly, is the normal, colloquial, conversational, absolutely native speaker way to say this. 9 out of 10 native speakers would say he will be back shortly. Actually, 99 out of 100, really. It's more a matter of how it's normally said. It's a matter of collocation and colloquial expression. This is how we normally say it. So, okay, there's that other aspect to this whole idea of adverbs and sentence construction. Sometimes It's just normal to express it, especially conversationally, in this way. This is a good example of that. Okay. Carolina, adverb and verb.
Okay. She can be absolutely friendly.
Okay. Uh,
Friendly today or tomorrow. Or
okay. Well, do you remember that I showed you friendly is actually an adjective?
okay.
Okay. Now, look at this. Now, all right. All right, Carolina, give me another interesting example here. All right, let's just leave it right there. Nothing else. She can be absolutely friendly. Okay. There's nothing wrong with this sentence, but this adverb is clearly working on the adjective. All right. Let me do a little cut and paste job here. Our verb here is can be. You've got an auxiliary helping out the verb to be. So if we paste absolutely here, she can absolutely be friendly. This is also a valid sentence. Nothing wrong with this either. But the meaning is definitely modified slightly. Now the adverb is working on with the verb construction can be. She can absolutely be friendly. Meaning, you would say this, no, really, she can. Of course she can. She can absolutely be friendly. It's possible. As opposed to she can be absolutely friendly. She can be completely friendly. The meaning slightly changes. All right? So you've got to be careful about this. When you're placing these adverbs, do you really want it to work on the verb or the adjective? Because you can change meaning depending. This is a good example. If you put it in the wrong place, you can change the meaning. You need to place it where it corresponds with your meaning. Okay. It can be either one of those places, but it's doing a different function. All right, Mark, give us one more for the road, so to speak.
Okay. Everybody knows she usually laughs loudly when she's drunk.
Hmm? Okay. All righty then. All right. Wow. Okay. Where are your adverbs?
There are two, usually and loudly.
Yes, there are, and yes, they are. Okay. Okay. Now, this is very interesting. All right. This is very interesting. What verb are they acting on?
Laugh.
Both of them, right?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Notice his placement of one adverb in front of the verb and one verb after. Okay. That is because, again, it's all about this placement. If I put them together, that I would automatically have to assume that usually is modifying loudly, because when we want to use an adverb to modify another adverb or modify an adjective, we put it right in front. And in a sentence where you have possibly more than one you want to use more than one adverb to modify just the verb. You don't want them to modify each other. All right? Actually, what Mark did is exactly correct. This is the strategy right here. Perfectly. Okay, so you want one time adverb, you want one manner adverb, you want both of them. They both have different functions. You want both of them to modify the verb. You have to do this. You have to separate them.
She laughs usually, and at the same time, she laughs loudly, and I explain why. Because she's drunk.
Mm-hmm. Yes. The idea that you want both of these yellow highlighted adverbs to work on the verb. You don't want one of them to work on the other adverb. So you cannot put them together.
Okay.
All right. Very important point there. I am definitely bookmarking this lesson. You guys have been awesome. And some points I normally really struggle trying to convey. Your examples were perfect. Yeah, great job, guys. Really awesome. Thank you. That was very cool.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right. Bye-bye for now. See you next time.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, teacher. Bye.
Okay, bye. Take care.